Good morning. My name is Felicia Jordan, and today I'll be speaking with you on workplace bullying. The purpose of this training is to help all members of an organization feel respected and empowered in order to create a more positive work environment. Objectives. At the conclusion of this training, all employees should be able to do all of the following. Define workplace bullying. Identify the signs of bullying in the workplace. Understand why you're being targeted by bullies if you are being bullied. Identify what motivates a bully. Effects of bullying. And teach employees how to advocate for not only themselves, but others. Let's get started. What is workplace bullying? Workplace bullying is a complex set of behaviors that can have a devastating effect on its targets. These forms of abusive conduct may include all of the following: threats, sabotage, deliberate humiliation, withholding of necessary resources, verbal or physical abuse. Identifying the signs of bullying. A few signs you can look for if you think bullying is happening to you. Others at work have been told to stop working, talking, or socializing with you. You're constantly feeling agitated and anxious, experiencing a sense of doom, and waiting for something bad to constantly happen. And no matter what you do, you're never left alone to do your job without interference from either your peers or your employer. Why you're being targeted. Bullies usually target individuals who are independent, more technically skilled than their bullies, better liked, they have more social skills and quite likely possess greater emotional intelligence, ethical and honest, non-confrontive, they do not respond to aggression with aggression. What motivates a bully? What you need to know that motivates a bully. Most incidents of bullying are actually motivated by the bully themselves and their own lack of self-esteem, rather than the specific actions, appearance, or personality of the victim. That may look something like this: lack of self-esteem, insecurities and inadequacies, controlling or obsessive tendencies, and finally, an inability to accept responsibility for their own action and professional conduct. Effects of bullying. While I was doing my research, I found that there were two possible effects of bullying: health risk and job performance. Let's look at some of the health risk of bullying at work. Being a victim of bullying can cause physical and psychological health problems, including stress, anxiety, panic attacks, higher blood pressure. Now let's look at some of the effects of job performance. Bullied workers can perform their jobs to the best of their ability. Performance issues include having trouble making decisions, an incapacity to work or concentrate, a loss of self-esteem, lower productivity, which ultimately harms the organization or company. And then we have to remember, the effects of workplace bullying doesn't end when you leave the office. You take it home in some way with you, either emotionally or physically. And let's talk about advocating for yourself and others, and some ways that may look. A few ways in which you can advocate for yourself and others when it comes to workplace bullying. For yourself. For yourself, you can recognize what you can control and what you can't control, and stop trying to control the things that you can't. You can set boundaries with the bully. And ultimately, you can report it to your supervisor, which I think is the best thing to do. Others, offer to be a friend. They may be going through the same thing you're going through and just need someone to talk to about it. Avoid listening to gossip or rumors and stand up for the victim when you can. If you do this, then you're better than the bully. If you don't, then you're just as equal to the bully. Report it to your supervisor. I think, because those things have that same thing in common, that's probably your best bet. You can stop bullying at the head and you can change it, making sure that it doesn't happen to someone else. I have a short video here of Tyrone helping an employee of his called Alan. And they're gonna demonstrate how advocating for yourself and others work when it comes to bullying in the workplace.
For some reason, the guys took a dislike to Alan from the start.
Alan, man. Look shit, Kyle.
What's up with you today, man? You not take some pride in your appearance? Look here.
Okay, so he's kind of awkward, doesn't really know how to fit in.
Get your coffee.
It didn't take long for them to figure out that he was an easy target. They started making jokes at Alan's expense, called him some choice names, hid his tools, and hung disgusting stuff in his locker. They all seemed to think it was real funny.
Come on, really?
I wouldn't go along with it. I tried to be friendly with Alan so he didn't feel totally cut off. I told the guys to stop, but they kept doing it.
Hey, Alan?
Finally, I had to confront them and make them listen to me. Fellas, stuff with Alan, it's not cool. I started by telling them clearly that I thought what they were doing was wrong.
It's really time to grow up, guys.
I told them that Alan didn't deserve what they were doing to him.
I used to be proud to work with you guys. What happened? All he's trying to do is get his job done. And not feel like he's being constantly harassed while he's doing it.
I told them they had to stop now, or I would have to take it to the next level.
Bro, you don't have to do all that. We've just been having a little fun.
I guess if it means that much to you, we'll stop.
Good. It does. Whatever you say, man.
If you go along with it and don't say anything, it's just as bad as if you were doing it yourself. But if you do say something, you can make a real difference. When you're right, and they'll know it.
Do you agree with Tyrone? Do you agree in the ways that he helped Alan out? Would you have done the same? Those are just a few ways in which you can advocate for yourself and others. Just by sticking up for someone, you're stopping the bullet in the head and telling them that you won't stand for this. So let's summarize. First, workplace bullying is a set of behaviors that can have a devastating effect on its targets. That's what we learned about what defines workplace bullying. 2, the signs of bullying. Remember, others at work have been told to stop socializing with you, and you are constantly feeling agitated and anxious. Those are just a few signs of bullying. 3rd, you may be targeted because you are independent, ethical and honest, and non-confrontative. 4th, what motivates a bully? Remember, it's all the things that's wrong with the bully himself. Lack of self-esteem, insecurities and inadequacies, an inability to accept responsibility for their own actions. Bullies have to look within themselves. Effects of bullying. Remember, there are possibly 2, health and job performance. Health, there's stress, anxiety, panic attacks. Job performance, having trouble making decisions, lower productivity, which ultimately harms not just you, but your company. And finally, advocate for yourself and others, what you can control and what you cannot control. Set boundaries with the bully. Offer to be a friend. Avoid listening to gossip or rumors. And ultimately, report it to your supervisor so you can stop it at the head. Thank you for joining me today on workplace bullying. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm here for you.